All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Food Explorer podcast. My name is Bill Collins, and we are here with a very special guest today. But before I introduce her, I want to tell you to please share and like this on all social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is you're on. Please like and share. Make a comment for your chance to win a beautiful tin of Trey olive oil. So, the person that I am with today is an amazing operator. Without further ado, I have to introduce her. Her name is Ayse, and she owns the vibiest coffee shop in Springfield. This place is called Socialite. It's one of my favorite places to go. The yummiest cappuccino. I can often be seen there eating an avocado toast, a spicy chicken sandwich, or one of her wonderful pastries. Ayse, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me, Bill.
Well, I see you often at your shop, but I've known you for a long time. I got to meet you at my bar. I've met your sister, a couple of the family members, and I fell in love with Socialite. And I think even before I knew it was your place, I started going in, and then I'm like, wait a second, this is yours?
You're
so
like,
I'm so happy and proud of you and for all the success.
Thank
and the place is beautiful. And every time I go, it's like tough to even get a seat. So congratulations.
Thank you.
How did it all come to be? How did it all start?
Well, it's kind of a long story. I truly believe that I got pulled into the direction of opening and operating my own business. I can remember that as a child, I truly loved the taste of coffee. We are Turkish, so coffee as a child is not weird. It was like the norm.
It's a ritual.
Yeah. So I remember when my father would take me back to Turkey in the summers, I was maybe around 16, and right in our city, there was a new coffee shop that opened up in Turkey, and I was just obsessed with going there. And I remember the feeling and the vibe and, the joy that it gave me. And, my father owns Pizza Works.
Okay. Yep.
So we come from the food industry
family.
already.
Yeah.
He's a small business owner. He made that from nothing to something.
My kids love that place, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we grew up in there.
That's awesome.
So, I worked there since I was 11. So from 11 till I went to college to 20, I worked at Pizza Works.
I love that.
Daily.
It's so funny because I just mentioned in another podcast, like the last 3 or 4 people that I've talked to that are in our business, everybody's like, yeah, I started at 11, I started at 12, 13, I was busting suds. And I'm like, where were the labor police?
There were labor police is coming into our shop, and they would always threaten my dad that they're going to sue him or they're reporting him. And, Turkish people, they're
she's
like,
doing her
whatever,
chores.
try me. Who cares?
I'll
It's
show
my
up.
kid.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So no one was able to take me away, but anyway.
Yeah. But it led you to this, like it was in the blood, right?
Yeah,
and then you found the concept and
my
boom.
dad's a chef. My dad is from, he migrated from Turkey, obviously, at a very young age, 18, I think he was, or 19, and they lived in Brooklyn, New York. So I was born in Brooklyn, and he worked at the Hyatt hotels there as a chef.
Okay.
Someone told him about Springfield. How do we all come to Springfield? I have no idea. Someone always tells someone about Springfield.
I know.
So we migrated
which
here.
Which is so funny to me. Yeah,
it's so odd. Every time I hear like a immigrant family, even if it's Italian or, Polish or whatever, they all came from Brooklyn to Springfield. And I'm just like, how did that happen?
I know. It is a melting pot, though, which is kind of cool, though, because you can go and in Springfield, like you can find Jamaican food, you can find Spanish food. I mean, I love that part about where we live, though, because
it's
you
so
can
cultural.
find anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, watching my father struggle operating a small business and turn it into, a multi-million-dollar business within a few years, I didn't know if I wanted to deal with that. I didn't know if I wanted to become a business owner and struggle the same way my father did. Even money's not the end goal ever. There's always, like, you care so much about something that you built, the brand. So I truly think that, it's always a struggle when you own a business.
Yeah.
And from there I went to college to Suffolk University. And while working there, while going to school there, I worked at Thinking Cup.
Okay.
Yeah. So Thinking Cup was just brand new back in 2010 when they were opening up in Boston. And it was like the biggest hype All the college students were going there. They were doing hearts in the cups.
Oh, nice.
It was like one of the first coffee shops in Boston that were doing hearts in the cups. And I was like, oh my God, I have to have this. So I started going there every day. So I ended up getting a job there. And once I graduated college, I started working for Coca-Cola. I did my career, right? I was in marketing.
Oh, so full marketing background. At this point, you're thinking to yourself, hey, I'm going to go corporate and,
I mean, as a child of immigrant parents, that's all they wanted for me.
Of course.
They wanted me to have a career, a title.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people want that for us. But when you grow up and you recognize really quickly, like, that's not really something that you can feel passionate for, or maybe it is, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
As soon
I
as
love that though, that you knew that, because all you do is bring passion to your place, you know? So you made the right decision.
I mean, till this day, it's the only job I haven't gotten sick of yet.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
I think I made the right decision. You know, I worked at Coca-Cola for 4 years. It was a great run for me, and it was the only job that I had career-wise. But very quickly, my boss recognized that I had a skill set that was beyond, you know, just operating or working as a marketing manager. And he would always push me. He's like, just go open up that coffee shop. You keep talking about coffee shops. Please open up that coffee shop.
I love it. I love that your boss did that too and gave you that little push over the finish line, because sometimes it can be so scary taking that leap, because, you know, I'm kind of like the same thing. Like, I came from the restaurant business, you know, a family that was in it, and taking that leap where you're going from working for somebody where you got the steady paycheck and, you know, you really feel comfortable to, hey, I'm going to go at it by myself. Like, what happens if there's no paycheck tomorrow, right? And so making that move for you, that was a brave move. I love that.
Yeah, my motto was always like, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah. I think that as long as you're healthy and strong, that, you know, you can always work and pay debt off. Yeah. So I was like, it's either now or never. I only have the energy to think about opening up Socialite now. So I want to fully go in and commit. And if it fails, I always had a plan B. I was like, I'll work as a bartender. Yeah. You know,
I would have hired you in a minute. Yeah. You would have been right in there. Yeah.
I would, you know, work
in fact,
a few jobs.
if you want to start doing nights, we got a spot.
I don't know about that now. I'm enjoying life right now.
Good.
So.
Good.
So yeah, I mean, I truly feel like I got navigated and pulled towards opening up Socialite. I can't explain it, but I don't even know sometimes how I did it, because it's a brand that was built from scratch. You know, my father purchased a business and began operating it.
Right.
Socialite was 100% created by me, and till this day I can't believe it. I'm like still having pinch me moments, like, holy crap.
I love that so much, and it like gives me the chills a little bit, because that's like entrepreneurism right there, right? And like what you just said is the same way I feel about my business too, where it's like, you know, you start from nothing and you're like, hey, I think this color will be cool, and I like this logo, and this is the vibe I wanted to have. And then all of a sudden you fast forward and you built this place, and there's people that are falling in love with it, and they want to wear it on a t-shirt and see it on a cup. And it's like, whoa, I created that. And it's almost like surreal. Somehow your mind like sometimes can like pack that away, that you went through that.
It doesn't still process. It never catches up to it.
It's bizarre.
Why?
I don't know why, because it's like, it really is such an accomplishment that I feel like your brain should like keep with you.
Be proud of yourself, but it doesn't do that.
But maybe that's what keeps us hungry for more, right?
Absolutely.
So with your marketing background, I mean, and I will tell everybody, I walk into your shop the other day, which, thank you, by the way, you treated us wonderfully and everything was great for like the 95th time we've been there.
I appreciate it.
And my wife and I order the same thing a lot when we go there. Sometimes I venture out to something different when she's not with me. But there you are. I walk in and you're literally stamping cups.
Yeah.
So there's the marketing major from Suffolk University, just hammering the logo on things. You know, she's like, I've got my hand by the cash register. Boom, I got a Socialite now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy you're not saying this, but I did have a Socialite t-shirt on before coming in here. I was like, that's too much. Let's change.
I wish you had one. I would have worn it on this thing. Yeah. No, it's awesome. Well, speaking of that, I did see a social post that you put up, and you put something out there, I don't know, just a couple of months ago, like, and you did like an AI rendering of like a shelf, and it had like Socialite gear and merch on it and stuff like that, which I loved, because I feel like your brand is a brand where people would rock the gear.
Yeah,
you know?
I
And so
tend
are
to
you doing
sell
that?
out. Every time I do merch, I tend to sell out right away. And
Yeah.
I recognize that, like, our space is kind of small, but when I go to New York and all these other bigger cities, then their coffee shops are half the size of mine, and they're banging out full-on sandwich menus, full-on breakfast, and they have a merchandise rack. I'm like, all right, my space is bigger than theirs. I just have to think about how to organize
Absolutely.
and restructure the flow of this business. So I'm always alternating. I'm always trying to upgrade. I'm always trying to revise and,
Yeah.
try to make it better and on trend, so.
Well, and there is, for me, in my business, I call it DPS, dollars per seat, right? And if you're actually filling those seats, it's really tough to say, hey, we're going to take those 2 seats away and we're going to put a cabinet here and replace it with merch. And
Yeah.
if it's an unknown, all of a sudden you lose X dollars a year in those seats where people could stay and hang out and drink
Right,
coffee and
right.
be a part of it. So it's a really tough decision to make.
Absolutely.
But you're hit the nail on the head. You just
Yeah.
got to figure it out.
I'm just pushing the milk bar to the right, and people are going to walk into the hallway now, so it's okay.
Yeah, done deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. So now talk to me a little bit about your menu direction, because it is all really fresh. Like, I love the fact if I order like the spicy chicken panini with avocado, it comes with like greens on the side. It's super fresh. It's like, I feel good when I leave your place. And so who comes up with the menus and the direction? Is that you too?
Absolutely. I mean, first of all, the chicken avocado sandwich, the spicy chicken avocado sandwich, that is the most popular sandwich. I cannot believe how many people are addicted to that sandwich.
all the good stuff.
And it's just so interesting because when I would work at Pizza Works, my father obviously had, like, pizza shops in this area, they have like huge menus. So you can either create your own, or like they have, LTM, lettuce, tomato, mayo on everything, right? So when I would work, I'd always make a grilled chicken on a bun with just pickled jalapeno and mayo. And it was my favorite sandwich. It was simple, it was easy. And I was just like, sandwiches don't need too many ingredients. They just need a few that are good, but the bread needs to be good too, right? And I loved pressed sandwiches.
Yeah, they're so good.
They
because you
just
get
do
that crisp,
something, yeah.
and it's warm and melty and
Yeah.
gooey inside. It's like it hits all the textures
Exactly.
and the flavor. Yeah, you're
that's what I want
spot
from
on.
a sandwich. So, I came up with that for Socialite on my own. I knew absolutely that was going to be on the menu. I taste test everything, and I make sure it has the salty aspect, the acid aspect, the sweet aspect. So I love those three. Always when I'm biting into something, I want the food flavors to have all those flavors. So that's what I did. And avocado toast was something I would eat daily when I was right before creating Socialite. So I like to spice up all my veggies no matter what I'm doing. I season all my veggies, even if I'm making a salad, and I massage my greens first, always with some acid. And then I would salt my, tomatoes and let it sit. And I lemon juice my tomatoes and let that sit, my cucumbers, and, and then put it all together.
I love it.
It just does
I love
something else. It adds so much more flavor.
Well, it also pulls out some of the natural flavors of the things that you're working with too,
Exactly.
and just, accentuates them a little bit. And
Yeah.
that's what I see with your food. Yeah.
So my other aspect is like caring so much about human health. I grew up with something that no one ever knew how to help me with. I constantly had pains monthly. And today I found out, obviously, after many years of suffering with it, is endometriosis.
Okay.
So I found this out maybe 10 years ago. Finally, I was diagnosed. Food would make me sick. Some foods.
What foods would affect it?
Highly processed foods.
Okay.
I'd have to eat only fresh foods, and that was when I recognized that I feel okay. But
Yep.
if it's highly processed, or even if it's fake ingredients, I call them, but they're just ingredients that are additives to prolong the
Absolutely.
food. But they did bother me.
They affect you, yeah.
Right.
And it's a problem in our country.
Exactly.
It's like,
It's a
go
problem in
other
our
places
country.
and you don't have to worry about it,
Right.
probably. Like in our country, it's so much, even like good products
Right.
that you would deem to be a good
Yeah.
product.
Yep.
You look at the label and you're like, oh my God.
20 more additives in
Yeah.
it compared to turkey.
Yeah.
I would always feel so much better when I would go to Turkey the summers. We'd spend 2-3 months there when I was a kid, all the way up until I was an adult. So for me, recognizing that, I'm losing weight once I get there and I feel so much better, I started understanding food. I started taking a better look. I started very early taking look at the behind the labels and reading things. So I recognized that if I don't understand the word, if I don't know how to pronounce it, I stop buying it.
I like that.
I started healing myself around age 21.
Yep.
So I took this mentality with me. I should have honestly became a health coach or a dietitian. My girls at Socialite always tell me, they're like, you should have been a doctor, because I'm so caring about the human body, but not only mine, whoever I'm serving.
Sure.
All of my employees, former employees, they'll always tell you, don't drink coffee on an empty stomach. I don't allow the girls to begin their day without having breakfast. I always eat breakfast, no matter what I'm doing.
Well, you get that metabolism flowing, right?
You need protein and
I'm guilty though. I'm like first thing in the morning with a couple of kids. I'm like, that coffee maker is on. I already got frying pans on top of the stove making school breakfast. And I'm like, I'm smelling that coffee. I'm like, yeah, baby.
You're raising your cortisol at the same time.
I know. You're right.
Yeah. You want to be happy serving customers, right? That's my new goal, is to make sure that I always, no matter what, eat before I drink coffee. And it's been 4 years now. I don't remember a time I had coffee on an empty stomach in the last 4 years.
I love it. Now, talking about the coffee, okay, I have to understand, because, we have some direction on how the food comes to be. The coffee, for me, I feel like it's such a wonderful coffee blend. I don't know what it is. I've never asked you before. I don't know if you roast it, if you have a contract with somebody, but I'm never left with a bitter flavor at the end. I just feel like...
And you shouldn't. Good coffee shouldn't have that.
And even I'm the type of person too, where it's like, I sometimes leave a coffee and then come back to my coffee in 40 minutes because I get sidetracked, and the coffee's never bitter. It's beautiful. So how'd you find it? What do you do?
Yeah. So working at Thinking Cup, I worked with some amazing baristas. I got lucky. And World Championship Barista is a thing, by the way.
I know.
It started actually the year I was working at Thinking Cup, and Cable, shout out to him. He was he was a first world champion barista, and he was the one that won, and he taught me a lot. And later came another guy, Adam. He was speaking to me about, the new up and coming roasters are going to be Onyx Coffee Lab. Mark my words. I still had him on Snapchat. Come 2019, when I was planning Socialite, I happened to just message him and was like, hey, who was that coffee brand that you were talking about that was going to be the best roasters? He was like, Onyx Coffee Lab. And I was like, would you recommend that? Because he's still in the industry. His uncle was the one who owns Thinking Cup. Okay.
So viable resource.
Yes, absolutely. Viable resource. And I knew they were all obsessed with going to all of these world coffee events. So they always knew the updated roaster that's doing phenomenal. And he was like, hands down, just Onyx Coffee Lab. I wouldn't do anyone else. I just blindsidedly just chose them. I didn't even care about trying anyone else. I trusted their opinions and I went for it. And I never looked back.
Oh, it's awesome. So still great experience.
Onyx Coffee Lab. Yep. They just won a James Beard Award this year.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, for being the best roaster in the country.
So indirectly, you're serving a James Beard product at your place.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love it. So now, 6 years in, you've got your food dialed in, you've got a great coffee product, you got a great thing going on, the business is humming, and it just always has that warm feeling. You got a great staff there. What's next for you? Is there a second act? Is there an expansion? Are you happy with where you're at and you just want to keep the quality at the best for as long as you can? What are your thoughts?
I think as an entrepreneur, you're never happy.
Right.
You're always building things in your mind, in the back of your mind, and I'm always jotting down ideas. I already had second Socialite planned, and I actually tried to purchase a building. My goal is to now purchase a building.
Smart.
Because it's a coffee shop, I really want it to feel homey, and for that to happen, I truly think that I need to buy a building and make sure it's mine. So that way,
the investment that you put into it, it's a real thing.
And I do a lot of designing. I'm not just going to leave the building Socialite. We did a lot of work in there.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So. You know how it is, spending a lot of money internally but still giving rent out. It just kind of is a bad feeling.
Yeah.
So that was my goal. I did put a down payment in for a location in West Springfield. It didn't happen. So that kind of made me discouraged from moving forward to look forward, looking for another location.
Don't get discouraged though. Yeah, no, because you have it dialed in. And if you use the same formula and you're really using your entrepreneur thinking cap, because like if all of a sudden now you've got a real estate company that owns the building,
right,
and you're operating the coffee shop, paying rent to the real estate company because you're still gonna have rent, right? And now you're making money on both sides of it. And, then there's other things, depreciation, all that stuff that works in. I mean, it's definitely the best way to move forward. And there's a lot of towns that could use a Socialite. I mean, you have proven your concept in one of the toughest communities to prove it in.
Absolutely.
Now, if you took that concept to Farmington, Connecticut, West Hartford, I mean, now it's like, oh my God, your place would be swarming. You could need 5 times the size.
But I also need 5 times me.
Right. Trust me, I understand. But those are the hurdles that we have to overcome as entrepreneurs to figure it out, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I recognize that, it not working out at that moment made me take a better look at Socialite. I don't think Socialite is where it needs to be completely for me to pull myself out.
Got it.
So I don't want to do that to my loyal customers who've been coming there for 6 years. I want it to operate as if I'm still in there, but I don't think if I pull out right now that it's there.
Right.
So I need a better plan before I remove myself from there.
It's always the hardest part about running family style business, owner operated, because what happens is, you put a tremendous amount of work into the buildup of that business. And, it's like, even with my business, it was like almost guaranteed every time you order steak, you get a side of me, right? I'm a table visit, I'm coming by, whatever. And you at some point have to make a conscious decision to be like, there's only one of me. And if there's ever going to be growth in my business or my businesses, I can't be everywhere at one time. And so you have to kind of make a decision at a certain point to say, listen, I can't make that guarantee to everybody who comes in that we're going to have a one-on-one every time you come in. It's like, and you have to move away from it. And it does hurt some people.
It does.
And it does hurt your business, but you have to figure out how to make that work on the back end.
Yeah. If
you're ever going to truly take it to the next level, right? And for me, I've had my fair share of growing pains with that too, and it's a natural thing that you go through. And
it's like a breakup.
Yeah. Well, I get it from people sometimes. Oh, I never see you. I'm like, I spend a lot of time there, but I just can't be the face of the place every day anymore. Yeah. Where I'm trying to do other things. And a lot of people don't
understand that.
Yeah.
They still come at you when you enter the shop. I'm only gone for 2 weeks. Every year, I'm only gone for 2 weeks a year. I go to Turkey every summer still. And when I come back, I always feel guilty because a lot of my customers are like, where have you been? Why weren't you here? I can tell you weren't here. I'm like, don't tell me that.
No, it's tough, but it's the best feedback you can get, right?
Absolutely, because to be missed. And
they're missing you, but they're being honest with you too.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, the customers are our lifeline, right? And
Absolutely.
we need them. So we have to water that garden.
I wake up daily wanting to go to work just so I can talk and chat and feel social, And the beauty about owning a coffee shop is that you don't need alcohol to be social there.
Right.
And it's amazing. I love that feeling that I'm sober chatting with all of these people who genuinely care about me and I genuinely care about them. You know, it's amazing.
It takes any of the fakeness out of it.
Absolutely.
Too. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So now do me a favor for everybody who's tuning in, because I know it's not in the thousands. It's not in the hundreds of thousands. Millions of people are watching this. Tell them all where to find you on socials.
Yeah, you can find us at on Instagram and Facebook.
And that is?
Socialite Coffee Bar.
Awesome. I urge everybody, if you have not gone to Socialite, you have to make a trip. It's a beautiful place. You are amazing. And I think, honestly, you're one of the best coffee operators I've ever met. I love going to your place, and I urge everybody to go out. Thank you for taking the time to come in and sit here today, and I hope that we get to work together in the future.
Absolutely.
Again.
I see it. I think it's going to happen.
I think it's going to be awesome. I hope to get her in the kitchen and teach me some of those Turkish delights, or hook us up with a trip to Turkey with somebody one day.
I actually got you some stuff from Socialite. Some treats.
No way.
There you are. We have our in-house eclairs and chocolate hazelnut croissant. They're one of the top sellers.
Delicious. Well, I can't share them with you, but I was able to share this with you. So thank you for tuning in. Make sure you like it and share it, and make sure, please, go to Socialite. It's the best. Enjoy.